For me, in and out's something connected to the idea of opposites, and I connect it because I'm interested in working in this way. Is how you can operate in two different areas. So you have how you act, and then what goes on inside your head, and how they relate to each other, and how you can be aware of that relationship to certain degrees, but there's always degrees that remain inside and not out. And how do they relate, and how do you familiarize yourself with and come to grips with what's going on both inside and out?
In e out io lo riporto più che altro alla parte più intima di noi, quindi la parte più interna per l'in e la parte esterna, l'out, quella che poi è la parte di noi che gli altri conoscono. Non c'è molta comunicazione spesso tra queste due parti e probabilmente questo è il motivo per cui poi non abbiamo una relazione reale con l'esterno, quindi con gli altri, con l'ambiente che non ci corrisponde in fondo.
For me, it's like a kind of playing with the words and like be with us or outside us. So are you with us or without us? So like a teamwork.
In and out as well means to me that kind of elites or that part of society that for us is quite outside of our reach, but we are reaching those kind of new subjects through creativity, and I think that is cool or interesting. Have a look to this kind of people, how they have developed their own city within the city that is Canary Wharf.
When I first took the project In and Out board, I was thinking and especially because of the Canary Wharf, I was thinking about the architectural spaces and how people integrate inside and outside the spaces, maybe internal and external thinking. And the board could be the journey in between the spaces that they integrate, I mean the environment and the journey. I think inside and outside my box, and that drives me also to the space that I'm always looking on.
That means that it's really free, I guess. It's the freedom to get in and it's the freedom to get out. And it's very like in a boat as well, because it's in a boat, so I guess the idea come from the fact that it's a boat, that the space is a boat, so there is the possibility to go somewhere and to get out. It's very, for me, just free things. It's like free of inspiration or imagination.
In and out, I think of in groups and out groups, basically. People who are in a club, not necessarily a club, but any sort of group, and people are outside of that. In terms of Canary Wharf, it's quite a peculiar place. It's sort of an international in-group. It's almost like an island within London, you know what I mean?
In and out is one thing. They live together. Without in, there isn't an out, and without an out, there isn't an in. And so there's a sort of skin, a sort of layer that divides these two realities, but it's in and out, it's one place, it's a place. And this idea of board is, there's this idea of movement, of something that goes in and out, something in movement.
Inside and outside of space, so the interior and exterior, challenging that concept of interior, that's what it means for me, and the kind of intersection between interior and exterior.
It's about what we got inside and what we are inside, what makes us what we are. And so basically it's about our roots and our being individual and the dignity of ourselves being as human being and individual.
Well, immediately, since I love my boat, I think about the fact that on a boat, you can choose to have a boat with a motor that's inside or a boat with a motor that's outside. So that was immediately, and having a long history of boating in the family, that's immediately what I thought of. But beyond that, then I began to think about how many of the things outside are inside my boat, like the trees. That when I come into my space, I don't see walls and ceilings. I see trees because they were part of our family. So it's a different. I feel like I'm home in Mississippi, and that I'm not in an internal space. I think I'm in the yard at my father's home, in the garden. So it's to me it has that sort of meaning. And then also here in Canary Wharf, I feel that the quayside is also an extension of the boat. So I think of that space also as out and yet in part of our use here. And then as I go around, I began to think that I'm not really out of my space. It's all sort of beginning to be in. And then at the last, I guess, probably I'm having a feeling that the big buildings are a little bit more out to me. And all the open spaces, because of the water, because of the air and the outdoor things, it makes me feel like they're beginning to be part of me in.